jackwagon?
Coming to you live from his padded cell high atop Bethel Church, the most heralded, the most despised talk show in all of human history. This is the talk show Hell Hates. This is Pastor Mike Online.
And here we are coming to you live from our top secret broadcasting compound here at Area 52. This is the talk show that hell hates. And the more you listen, the more you know why. I want to apologize. It looks like that our stream is having some problems. Those of you who are listening live and you know my phone number, send me a text. Let me know if you're able to see it on Facebook. Let me know if you're able to see it on Sermon Audio. Because on my screen here, it's got a little, I don't know what they call it, a little graphic there with these waves coming out. That lets you know when it's green, that lets you know that you're broadcasting and the broadcast is going out fine, you got enough bandwidth, and so on and so on. But it keeps going from orange to red. You can figure out what red is. And then it turns red with a line through it. And that line means no Mike Hoggard today. Not going to happen. So, anyway, I know that Halloween is over. Okay. First message here. Here we go. This is from our dear friend, who says, stream is good on SA and FB. So, SAFB. We're streaming live on SAFB. All righty, Stevie. I will accept that. Maybe it's just a glitch in the software A. Maybe it's that. Anyway, even though it's over, there's still witchcraft brewing. Now that's a good one. Whoa, a little loud there on that. Yeah. Witches don't go away. And they keep casting spells. They will withstand Christianity because they it's like they're accepting of every religion in the world. Why, witches can be from Buddhism, or witches can come from Islam, or witches can come from atheism, and so on. But we got a problem with those Christians. We don't like Christianity. We don't like real Christianity. Now, the fake Christianity they like, because they can pull converts. I got another message coming in. Here we go. Oh, this is from, we're having, to those of you who are on our mailing list, and if you don't know what that means, every month we send out a packet in the mail of, number one, it has a disc all the Watchmen broadcasts that were done that month. And that includes this. If I go somewhere and I preach or I teach something, then that goes on there as well. That's part of the Watchmen broadcast, and that's on a DVD video. The second thing you get is a disc of all the Sunday morning sermons for that month, like for the month of October. And then, we're not done. Then you get a CD. Now, if you don't know what the difference is, DVD, well, it just has a lot more storage space on it. You can put, my goodness, with the software that we use, sometimes it really has to crunch it down. But I think this past month we got 4 very long videos on one DVD. But on CD, it's a smaller size, even though the discs they look almost identical. But it's for recording music and having music and audio only on there, not video. Although there was software years ago, back when people didn't have DVD writers or DVD players built into their computer. They didn't have that. Some guy came up with a way of how would I say it? Compressing down video so that it would, you could have an hour's worth of video on a compact disc that was generally made for audio. And I think it was called a VCD, a video CD. And that was pretty smart. That was pretty innovative. And that's what happens when you leave electronics, things like that, in the hands of the people. They'll come up with uses for it. It's like these apps on our phones, our watches, our tablets, even our computers. The guys who come up with the hardware for all of this stuff and the operating system, they may put out a few apps to go with it, applications, but the best source of these applications come from the people who use these devices every day. They think, well, I wonder what I would have to do in order to get my, let's say my Apple iPhone to, let's see here. This is something that's being done to record all of my phone messages, or to record everything that I do within a day. And if there's anything that I did during the day that's worth reliving and remembering, you hit a button or two and it stores the most important parts of the day. There is already software out there that does that. There's hardware that goes along with it and so on. So anyway, where did I go chasing that rabbit down? But anyway, I have no idea where I was going with that. But anyway, isn't technology great? Technology is really good. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Okay, we'll see you later. Adios, muchachos. All right. No, since Halloween's over, witchcraft still it still resides. It's still around, and it's very, very subtle. And I love God for being the smartest person ever who took the word subtle, a word that means something that is almost subliminal in nature, something that is brought into our minds without our consciously being aware of it. Okay? That's what the word subtle means. And God took the letter B and hid it in that word. I mean, that is, hallelujah. That's what that is. The word subtle has a letter in it that is subtle. You don't say subtle, you say subtle. Okay? That's our God. All right. I want to show you. I've been collecting videos, and I've been meaning to let you in on them. And I've got a couple here that, let me see here if I can. Oh yeah, here we go. I want to make sure that the volume is turned down on these before I play them, because in some cases, well, let's just say that, you know, I just don't like foul language. I don't like it. I don't speak it. I honestly don't. I have come close a couple of times. A few weeks ago, well, while my wife was up with her mom up at a hospital north of here, my wife wanted me to take her car and check the air in the tires. So I pull into this gas station, and the air hose is just long enough to reach the tires on that side of the car, you know, where the air pump is. So I checked both those tires. I fill them up with air, the front one first, and then I did the back one. And then I was going to pull up, and I was going to turn the car around and pull back in. Well, some guy, soon as I pulled up, he pulled right in there. And I turned around to back up, and I mean, the words came to my face. You blankety blank. But I didn't say it. Now, some people say, well, you thought it. You might, if you think it, you might as well say it. No. Just because we think things does not mean that we should act on it, nor does it mean that we are just as guilty by just thinking of certain things, that we're just as guilty as those who actually say those certain things. I don't agree with that. Our minds, we will think things throughout our day. We'll think hundreds of things, maybe, that are vulgar in nature, they're just very distasteful. They're not good. They're not conducive to us maintaining good relationships with other people. And so I do not believe for a second that when you think something bad about somebody, that you might as well go ahead and say it, because that's just as bad. I don't believe that at all. If you can refrain, and God helped me, is the only thing I can say, is that God helped me. Now, my windows were all rolled up. His windows, it wasn't a matter of him hearing me. But you never know. A guy might hear you and him jump out of his truck and walk over to your door and start beating on you until you can't hardly stand up. And you always got to be careful. But anyway, what I was thinking toward him or about him, it was not something that was said about him and toward him. Definitely wasn't anything that was within his earshot. And so just kind of keep that in your mind, if you would, please. So anyway, I just don't like vulgar language. I don't like people talking that way. And my goodness, there are people nowadays, you just hear them in Walmart or the supermarket or whatever, and they can't speak more than 2 or 3 sentences without F this and S, this is S, that SOB, and all of those things. They can't do it. It's like they have to speak that way. And my wife and I, especially when we're out on Fridays, we talk all day long and we don't curse at each other. We just don't. Let's see here. Yep. The stream is breaking up. Yeah. And there's really nothing I can do about it. I can't. I'm not the god of the internet. I can't control the internet. So I am recording it. We'll do the best that we can. All right. Now, let me show you a scary ghost. Let's see here. We're going to do this. There we are. And this is from Slapped Ham. I don't know where he comes up with this, but that's the name of his website. This is not it right here. This is just, watch this. Okay? This lady lays down. I guess it's a lady. I don't know. But all of a sudden, she couldn't breathe. That happens. People get sleep paralysis, and they can't breathe. Okay? That's the word nightmare. That's where it comes from, is that people envision sometimes in their dream like a horse standing over them or standing on top of them, and they can't breathe. So anyway, let's see here. Get some volume on it and see what happens. Watch this right here. Look at that. There's the Geist, the ghost, the spirit, pale face, dark body, like a dark hood. There it is again. Man. Now, as far as I know, this is not a computer-generated image or CGI. As far as I know, that's not what it is. But what could it be? Well, we just don't know. Here's another one. Oh, you got to hear this one. Okay? You got to hear this one. Let me hit it here. Okay. Hold on. Let me back this up. This is P. Diddy. I guess that's how you pronounce his name, P. Diddy. It's P-D-I-D-D-Y, P. Diddy. And he is talking about how they are in control of everything. Especially people. Wait a minute. I need to be in this picture. Here we go. Here I am. Especially people. If you're young people are listening to this kind of music, parents, please start parenting. Please start doing that. Start being a parent to your child instead of trying to be their best buddy and not getting on to them for anything because you want them to like you. They need to respect you first and then like you. I have seen young people who you could tell their heart was, they were totally dedicated to their parents. I know a man, and he's got daughters. Those daughters' hearts toward their dad is absolutely incredible. And I think that is I think that's the grace of God is what it is right there. Okay, but listen to P. Diddy and what he's got to say here.
Take your souls. We have the power. We decide what's hot. If we don't go, nobody goes. If we don't support, nobody supports. We control what's cool. We control what's hot. We control what your kids listen to, what they dance to. We control.
Did you hear that? We control what your kids listen to. And they do. I mean, people, come on. You've got perverts like Diddy. And I mean, he is nasty. And then you have like Katy Perry. My boyfriend is an alien. Really? Well, let's see. That's right out of Genesis 6, isn't it? She's the one, Katy Perry, who sold her soul to the devil because she grew up in a, I guess, a so-called Christian home. And she was going to be someone who was going to like be a new next generation Amy Grant. She was going to try to use her talents to sing to the Lord. But fame took over. And with fame came all this money. And with all this money came the corruption that takes place as a result of that. I want to back this video up a little bit and let you hear it out of Diddy's own mouth. We control everything.
Nobody supports. We control what's cool. We control what's hot. We control what your kids listen to, what they dance to. We control what's in video games. We control how they wear it.
Did you hear that? We control the video games. I used to play Half-Life 2. And that's been years ago. And I always liked playing on a PC, because with the PC, you could get a list of the cheat codes. That way you never lose. I hate losing. So you get a copy of these cheat codes, and basically you can be invisible. Nobody can see you, which means you can't get shot, or you can put yourself in God mode, and you can put it to where you'll never get hurt ever. Things like that. I don't know. I just like the scenery. I like to move through the scenery and see what's around. You know, I'm an explorer. That's how I used to, and that's pretty much the last game I've played. When I saw, what game was this called? Grand Theft Auto. People, I couldn't believe my eyes. You're basically teaching an entire generation of children this gangster lifestyle. That's what. And if you don't believe me, my goodness, why don't you go to Chicago, LA, go to New York, go to any one of these liberal cities, and it's not a game with them. It's the real deal. That's what it is.
Take your souls. We have the power. We decide what's hot. If we don't go, nobody goes. If we don't support, nobody supports. We control what's cool. We control what's hot. We control what your kids listen to, what they dance to. We control what's in video games. We control how they wear their pants, sag their pants.
We control how they wear their pants. Come on. Pull them up. Boys, listen to me. Pull your pants up, please. Please pull your pants up. Don't go around with your pants hanging down. Don't do that. Please don't do that. It's called self-respect. Self-respect. Where you decide that I don't want people seeing me as some bum or as some skinny, pale mama's boy living in the basement playing video games all day long. I don't want people to see me that way. One of my daughters years ago, this young man had taken a liking to her, and we got to meet him. I wasn't impressed. And he's, after we meet him, and they go out a couple times, he starts trying to talk her into, because she had a job, and he was trying to talk my daughter into renting an apartment so that they could move in together, so that she could pay the bills and he could play the games. I kid you not that's probably one of my daughters now saying, Dad, No. But anyway, I mean, that's a thing now. People playing video games and wear their pants half that. They have no self-respect whatsoever. None. You know what? It's going to get vulgar here in a minute, so I'm not going to play any more of that video. Let me see what else is coming up here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, this one. Oh my goodness. This is going to, as far as I know, this is legit. Okay? As far as I know, that this is. It's 23 seconds long. Take a look. Yeah. Let's play that again. That's just, I think that girl's possessed, is what I think. And in a third world country, that happens a lot. There. Okay, what else? What else? What else? Well, let's see here. Scary videos, scary videos. Scary videos. Let me see. How about this one? What is this one?
I'm just sharing this with you, and like I said, this is something that is an intern that really changed my life. Had a patient got stabbed in the heart. When I walked in the ER, because I was on the ER, but the surgeon had his chest cracked open, and he had his finger in the guy's heart. And they pronounced him dead. He was a young man, maybe 22, 23 years old. Drug deal that went bad. He died, and the surgeon was a Christian, Dr. Forster to be exact, said, we're not going to let him go without a fight. So he took him to the OR, took him to surgery, pumped him full of blood, got a pulse, tied the hole in his heart up with a suture. And since I was on the surgery unit, I had to wait until he woke up. After about 4 hours, the guy woke up, and he looked me in the eye, and he grabbed me, and he started crying, sobbing, and he said, I met the devil. And I said, what do you mean you met the devil? He said, I saw you working on me. I was dead. I never prayed. And he could feel, he went straight down into hell. And he said he looked in the eyes of the devil, and he prayed. He said he never prayed before. It was never spiritual. God, I'll change my life. And he felt an angel or a hand pull him back up. And that's when he awoke. And it was the most amazing experience because he was legit. I mean, no one makes up something like that. And last I heard, he's completely changed his life. He gave his life to God. And I still, to this day, the look in his eye when he woke up, the terror, I'm absolutely convinced that he did meet the devil. And once again, I've not followed up on where he's at now, but I heard he's doing really good. And if I can get that information, I'll get it for you.
Okay. What was your reaction when the doctor told you that they were going to sew him back up? And
I thought he was crazy because the guy bled out. He was dead. There was blood on the ceiling because he got stabbed in the heart, blood all around him. And he had no pulse. He was lifeless. And the Christian doctor said, Dr. Forster, we're going to take him and we're going to try to revive him. And it was actually miraculous because the guy was dead. He completely bled out. And you don't open someone's chest in the ER, stick your finger in a hole. That's a last ditch effort. And I thought he was crazy, but now in retrospect, it happened for a reason. And that basically changed my whole outlook on medicine. And that was when I was a young intern.
Don't forget.
Yeah. People, things like that happen. They do. When we're dealing with the spiritual world, we have to understand that these things are real. They're more real than you and I are. If we go by the scriptures, which we will, like in Hebrews, where it talks about the tabernacle of Moses was only a shadow of the true tabernacle in heaven. Now, we never look at someone's shadow and say, well, I spent a long time, having a conversation with this guy's shadow. People would look at you and go, man, there's something weird about you. The shadow is only like a piece of what you are. Three-dimensional objects cast two-dimensional shadow. Therefore, something in the fourth dimension will cast a three-dimensional shadow. Isn't that cool? Now, just as the two-dimensional shadow is real, so is the three-dimensional shadow is real as well. Okay? So lots of these things going on, lots of things happening. We're trying to get the videos that I've found so far. We're trying to get them saved and collected and all in one spot. And we'll try to get them out there as soon as possible, soon as probable. I want to talk about this some more. Let me put this up on the screen for you. There we go. Now where's the screen? Here it is. Here it is. Found it. All right. Dealing with elemental magic, or you could call it witchcraft, magic. You could call it paganism, and all of that would be true. In witchcraft rituals, the four elemental powers, remember what they are. They are dragons. That's what the witches believe. That at each, I guess each corner, north, south, east, and west, there is an elemental, a powerful spirit, and that powerful spirit takes on the form of a dragon. Now, we always say, the devil's a dragon and so on, but there are other dragons as well. And, not all of these, let me say it this way, not all of these have to be the fire-breathing, kind that what some people say mythology tells us. However, mythology, or whatever, I don't know. But when you look in Job, the book of Job, and you look at the Leviathan creature there in the book of Job, you really do get this image that he is a fire-breathing dragon. This is Job 41. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put a hook into his nose and bore his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird? Now, who would want to play with a fire-breathing dragon? I mean, you got to really hate your kids and say, hey, kids, I brought home some dragons. You want to play? Oh, yeah, Daddy, let's play with the dragons. Here again, I don't want you to think that that I'm coming down on everybody if you've got, if you've got a copy of the movie How to Train Your Dragon. Now, I've not seen that, but maybe if you recommend it to me and say, Pastor, yeah, we think you got to see this. It's got some interesting things in it. I don't necessarily think you're going to hell. Okay. But if your child lives on a steady diet of dragon movies and shows, cartoons, anime, just things like playing dragon video games all the time. I remember those of you who are like my age and somewhere around in there, you remember a game called Dragon's Lair, and it was like the first video game. It was a big console game you'd play at the arcade, and it was like one of the first video games that incorporated live scenes. They were cartoon scenes, but they reacted to you moving the mouse and so on. And we had one of those at the Bible college I went to in the recreation room. And I was so good at that I'd put my quarter in and hit start, and within 3 minutes, I was done. That's how good I was at that game. I had accomplished nothing. But anyway, but if your child, your grandchild, your niece, nephew, whatever, if they are feeding on this constant diet of dragons this, dragons that, How to Train Your Dragon, and all of those other movies and TV shows that go along with that, I would just be, I would be very, very concerned about the outcome that's going to take place in their young life. Okay? Let me continue reading this. Wilt thou play with him as with a bird, or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Again, that's not going to happen. Shall the companies make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among thy merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him, remember the battle, do no more. I like that verse there. Lay thy hand upon him, remember the battle, do no more. In other words, I think it means that if you ever fought one of these things and lived through it, you probably wouldn't do it again. You would tell others, yeah, I fought a Leviathan once. Well, do you recommend it? No, I don't recommend it. And I kind of think that's what that means. But it literally talks about, if you look at, like verse 15, his scales are his pride, shut up together as with a close seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. This dragon, Leviathan, is a water creature, and his scales are so tightly compacted together that he is leak-proof. Waterproof, leak-proof. Nothing can get in. Nothing can escape. It's fascinating to me. And then, verse 18, by his neesings a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Do you remember what the word neesing is? Okay, I'll illustrate it. Hang on. Neesing. A neesing is a sneeze, sneezing. By his sneezings, a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. And then it says, verse 19, out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy. Before him the flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. And his heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. Man. So God made this thing a little different. But getting back to this, at every element, every direction, one of those dragons is there. And those who are practicing elemental witchcraft, they are told by their masters, by other authors who apparently have been through this and say, whoa, I think I'd be careful. They tell you that when you encounter these guardians and you want to summon their power, like the power of water or the power of fire or the power of earth or the power of air, when you want to operate in one or more of those spirits, of those elements, then you have to, if they're asleep, be careful. Because you may end up with a EF5 hurricane or tornado on your hands, because they don't like to be awakened. What kind of God is that? It doesn't make sense to me. Why would you serve a God that you're so afraid that, if you do things the wrong way, you open the door the wrong time or whatever? Anyway, let me finish reading this. In witchcraft rituals, the four elemental powers are summoned to join with the human participants inside the circle. Now, watch this. They are summoned to join with the humans. Okay? We would call that they hath a devil, or he hath a devil. That's what that is referring to. This manifestation of these spirits is going to take place in this person's life. And for a while now, listen to this, for a while, they're going to be led to believe, people are going to be led to believe that you or whoever this is, you're going to be regarded as somebody that has, oh, they've got great power. Yeah, I mean, man, Mike Hoggard, oh, man, he is, man, have you ever seen him? I mean, he'll like put cast a spell on somebody, and it's like a good spell, and like within 10 minutes they're walking in the room. I mean, how does he do this? And that's what people want. It is the pride of life. They want to think that they and they alone are the ones who are in charge here. The idea is that when the four elements are combined together, as in the ritual of the blade and the chalice, a fifth element is released, spirit or aether or whatever, which then is like in the spirit realm and has to do with air and so on. Now, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I typed this in. In fact, let me do a refresh here. This is just one screen capture of Google Images, and I typed in the word Element Church. And look what I got. Now, let's see here. If I have anything in my notes. Nope. I know what I was going to do. Go to Google Images. Like this. Images.google.com. There we go. Let's do an update here. Let's type in Element Church. Enter. Look at this. This is look at this one. Come on. That's witchcraft. That symbol, the name of the church, and of course it's in California. Let's go to their website. Let's see what these elementals are all about. Welcome to Element. About new to Element. Double sanctuary next to the coffee station. Need to help introduce you to who we are. Whatever. About location, what we believe, statement of faith, becoming a member, why membership, to join the Spirit. Here's the purpose of why you should belong to this church. To join the Spirit in forming authentic community that reflects the relationship between the Father, Son, and Spirit. Now, this phrase, authentic community, what do you think that means? What do you think that implies? Does it mean like to join the Spirit in forming, genuine bonds between us as Christians? Well, maybe. But in my experience, anytime someone emphasizes this thing of community, I think that it is a form of communitarianism. Communitarianism is what Obama was trying to subtly bring into this country and introduce it. It is what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, that what does she say, that she's that Brooklyn girl, that girl from Brooklyn, when she didn't grow up in Brooklyn. Okay, she grew up in the nice part of New York, where there was money. But anyway, this idea of community and communitarianism. Communitarianism says, in a church setting, it says that if all of us can't be saved, then none of us can be saved. That's communitarianism. Communitarianism, it stems from the hippie crowd in the late 60s, early 70s. And it basically said that whatever bread we've got today, we'll break that bread and we'll hand it out that day so that everybody gets a piece. The problem is the people who were going out to work every single day to bring that bread in, they soon realized that even though other people in that community had the ability to go out and work somewhere that day, that those people left behind was enjoying the blessings of communitarianism with their wife. In other words, they shared everything, including their spouse. And it doesn't work. It's communism, communitarianism, authentic community that says we all have got to be on the same page here. They'll have Bible studies that were conceived by, like, Bill Hybels, while Bill Hybels wasn't sleeping around with other women, I should say. That's a fact too, people. That's a fact. Okay, he got busted out of his own church in Illinois. So anyway, that's what that is. That's communitarianism, and it's the idea that everybody has to come together to clarify the ongoing blessings and responsibilities of each member, to encourage consistency, accountability, and loving unity within the church family, to accomplish goals for the Element Church family. I don't get where they get off with their logo. I mean, look at their logo. It is pure elemental witchcraft. Let me pull the element symbol up here. I don't know if I can get a close-up of it. But anyway, you'll see it. The red is fire. The blue is water. The green is the earth. And the yellow part here is the sun. So you have earth. You have, what did we say was earth here? Earth. Let's see here. Here it is. Earth and air and fire and water. There it is. Okay. Got through that. Let me pull that back up again. Oh, that's me. Hi, everybody. That's me. But look at all these other churches. Element Christian Church, Element Church, Element Church, Element Church. Two Sunday gatherings, Element Church. The Hope of the World, Element Church, Winsfield, Missouri. That's about an hour and a half from here. Element Church. Here's the same thing again with the earth, air, fire, and water. I mean, where did they get this? Where did they get this idea for a name, for a church name? I know. Let's do this. Let's delve into Western culture, witchcraft, and let's use the 4 elements of witchcraft to name our church. No, I don't believe they had a meeting like that. I believe that some spirits had a meeting like that and inspired that pastor or that church leader or church leaders or whatever. But people just getting caught up in it, and they have no idea what they're doing. Let me get to the heart here of what I want to show you. Let's see here. Let me go back. All right. The symbols for elemental witchcraft. Notice that one is pointing up, the other pointing down. This one is pointing down, but it's got a bar through it. This one is pointing up because it has a bar going through it. If you put them together, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get that right there. Balance. Balance is another way of saying equity. Things that are equal. All right? And it certainly is the plan of Satan to try to bring man and make him equal with the gods. Can you imagine that? Well, I can. I can read it right in the Bible. There it is. They want man to be equal with them, to have that knowledge of good and evil. See, they're opposites of each other. And and the idea of these, let me get my pen here, of these emblems showing up on the 2 pillars of Jachin and Boaz. Oh, we started way out over there. There we go. Here's another one up here. Now we'll look at all the other symbols that we can discern here. Let's see here. Notice that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe rays ascending up from underneath, and they're pointing up. And then we have the same amount of reeves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gotta love your kids, amen. But anyway, what this means is the joining together, pater and mater, father and mother, literally, joining together to give life. Now, get this. To give life to whatever this thing here is going to be. Okay? Whatever that's going to be, and it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be the Antichrist represented by these symbols. I just don't know what he's going to look like yet. Okay? Uh-oh. I hope he don't look like me. That'd be bad. Hey, Antichrist. Oh, sorry, Hoggard. I thought you were the beast there. No, not today. I'm not. No, I'm not today. All right, now, in witchcraft, they do this ritual called the blade and the chalice. The blade brings forth the blood of a participant. That blood is then poured into the cup, and everybody gets a little taste of it. I don't know of any G-rated way of saying what I'm going to say, but there is there is a bloody mixture that covens will drink that is secreted by a woman on her 27th or 28th day. Whenever her body purifies itself through the blood, that blood is it is collected by witches' covens, and I've heard different things, but the bottom line is this type of blood is cursed, and people actually drink it. Whoa! Isn't it better to be a Christian? Isn't that better? To know that you're a child of God Himself, and you don't have to worry about, the things of the past, and you don't have to worry about, what people used to say about you anymore, because you are a different person now. God made you that way. So, amen. Praise the Lord. Let's see here. Where do I want to go with this? That was in the Da Vinci Code there. Yeah, let me do this real quick, okay? In the Da Vinci Code, they dealt with things like this and this symbolism. And remember that in Genesis 6, there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in to the daughters of men, the same became mighty men of old, mighty men which were of old, men of renown. And then God later says, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. So I know that a lot of people, they're worried about eating the wrong thing. Oh, that's messing up my genes. Oh, they're trying to rewrite my DNA. Oh no, what am I going to do? Can I take this? Can I buy this new car? Can I get this new house? Can I go see a doctor? Because I think the doctor is working for the Antichrist, and all he wants to do is change my DNA and things like that. Folks, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's that serious yet. Please don't accuse me of backing away from things that I've taught in the past, because I believe that mankind is going to have a major reconstruction, a major one. That is in 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 23, being born again, not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible, by the word of God which liveth and abideth forever. So I do believe that this is coming, but I also believe that all of this is going to happen very quickly. And people, I think people are going to be begging for it. Oh, please come down to us and change us into your image. I can just hear a lot of Pentecostals and so on saying, oh God, come down here and change us. And I think that they're going to be calling down these evil angels that are going to gladly mingle themselves with you. They haven't perfected it yet, or at least that I know of. But they haven't quite perfected it yet, but they will. And so when you think about the four elements, let's see here. When you think about these four elements, we already have four Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And of course, they represent the base pairs of our DNA. So what would happen if an angel from heaven or some earthly thing would present itself to mankind, offering to give him immortality, give him advanced insight into the world around them, and all the things that mankind could ever want, ever lust for, ever desire. It's going to be given to him. He's going to be born again, but not of incorruptible seed. He's going to be born again of corruptible seed. Man's going to change. And when he does, I'm sorry, but that's it. And for all the Tim LaHaye people and all the John MacArthur people who fell for this thing because, well, John MacArthur said it. John MacArthur said this. Said this thing about, well, do you think people who get the mark of the beast, that all of them are doomed to a devil's hell? And, MacArthur just kind of, he was soft-answered about it, but what he said basically was, they can take somebody and they can force them to rewrite the text in their Bible and erase parts of it, like what we just read. We can do that. We can make people understand the Bible that way. And once they do, then it's just another step toward total body modification. You think you've got tattoos now? Well, you just wait. You just wait. Oh boy, it's time to go. I got stuff to do. I am, where's my software? There it is. I am clearing off land. Just a little space. So I can build my deer stand. I bought it last season. I bought 2 of them. I put one together for my daughter, Lindsay. She loves to deer hunt, and I think that's awesome. And then I got to put mine together in the next week and a half, roughly. And then deer season's coming. Yes! And you know what? Deer season really, for me, has little to do with getting a deer, but it's just being out there in the woods, nobody bothering you. It is very, very peaceful. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, God bless you. I love you. You're the reason why I come in here every day doing all this. Do it for you because you're a blessing to me. You really are. Thank you for your support. Thank you for helping out with the ministry in Kenya. To God be all the glory, great things he hath done. All right? I love you. God bless you. Got to get out of here. We'll talk to you later.